They had you, the real deal, pure gold in a world full of cheap knockoffs. You lifted them higher than they'd ever dreamed, gave them a front-row seat to greatness they didn't earn. And what did they do? Traded loyalty for scraps, sold out their blessing for a dime store illusion. But here's the kicker: the sellout they chose is a hollow echo of your power, a counterfeit that could never measure up. Now they're drowning in regret, choking on the shame of their betrayal, and all they can do is watch from the shadows as you rise even higher. They saw you as a stepping stone, a means to their shallow ends, never realizing the depth of the gift they had in their grasp. You weren't just helpful, you were transformative, a force that elevated them to heights they'd never reach alone. But their greed, their insecurity, and their desperation for validation made them blind. They didn't betray you because you lacked worth. They betrayed you because your worth was undeniable, and it terrified them. They chose mediocrity disguised as an opportunity, chasing after fleeting applause and hollow promises while severing ties with the one who truly had their back. Their shame burns every time your name is spoken. The sellout they clung to has wilted under pressure, exposing its fragility, while you've become the embodiment of resilience and strength. They see your victories and hear your name echoing in circles they'll never enter again. It's not envy that gnaws at them, it's humiliation. To admit they failed, you would mean admitting their own failure, their lack of vision, their inability to hold on to something extraordinary. They can't face you because your existence is a living testament to their mistake, one they'll carry like a brand they can't erase. They sought fleeting rewards, chasing illusions that promised everything yet delivered nothing. They thought the grass was greener, driven by their insatiable hunger for recognition, wealth, or status. But all they found was a barren field of empty promises. They took the blessing they had, solid, unwavering, and priceless, and cast it aside for the seductive whisper of what seemed easier, shinier, or more convenient. Like those who abandon a well-built foundation for a hollow facade, their choices led them into emptiness, leaving them stranded in the wilderness of their own poor judgment. Now they stand in the aftermath, eyes opened, but too late. What they pursued is crumbling, the illusions stripped away to reveal the cost of their betrayal. The shame is relentless, a constant reminder that they gambled and lost. They see you flourishing, unshaken, thriving in ways they can't deny. Every success you achieve, every moment of your continued rise, echoes the truth they tried to ignore. The blessing they discarded wasn't fleeting. It was the real, enduring thing. Now they're left watching from afar, burdened by the knowledge that what they traded away wasn't just valuable, it was irreplaceable, and it's not coming back. If you've reclaimed your worth, if you've stood tall against the storm and come out stronger, drop the comment, "The crown is always mine," because it was, and it always will be. No sellout can ever take that truth away. The karmic had no substance, only the illusion of value, a fleeting mirage feeding their ego while draining their soul. They thought they were trading up, falling for the false promises that came dressed in convenience and flattery. The sellout played their part well, exploiting weaknesses they were too proud to admit. But what they didn't understand is this: a lie can only run so far before the truth catches up. And when the mask slips, as it always does, the hollow core beneath is impossible to ignore. The karmic may have given them a brief surge of self-importance, a shallow high that numbed them to the weight of their choices, but the consequences of betrayal are relentless. Now, the facade has crumbled, leaving them exposed and foolish in the harsh light of reality. They cling to the remnants of their lie, but it's too late. The world can see through it. The truth of who you are and what you've achieved stands taller than their fragile ego could ever hope to reach. They chose a shortcut, a cheap fix, over something real. And now, as you rise higher, they're left drowning in the shame of their miscalculation. Truth doesn't just endure, it triumphs. They let whispers guide them, the kind that fed their insecurities and twisted their perception of reality. Manipulation took root where trust once stood, preying on the cracks they refused to acknowledge. Those who sought to exploit them didn't strike with brute force, but with a calculated poison, drip by drip, until they no longer saw truth but shadows. They were handed falsehoods cloaked in confidence, urged to betray the very foundation of their blessing. Like Iago weaving deceit into Othello's ears, the manipulators needed no grand act, just the power of suggestion, the careful placement of doubt. By the time clarity began to pierce through the haze, the damage was done, and the consequences were irreversible. They had turned their back on loyalty, on truth, on you, only to discover they had been puppets in a scheme designed to ruin everything good they once had. The weight of regret anchors them. To acknowledge their mistake is to confront the depth of their weakness, and the shame of being played burns hotter than they can bear. Betrayal is the wound, but humiliation is the scar. And now, as they watch you rise unscathed, their fall becomes all the more tragic. When they chose betrayal over loyalty, they locked themselves into a cycle of spiritual stagnation. Their rejection of what was divinely given, you, triggered a ripple effect that now defines every corner of their existence. Endless setbacks dog their steps. Opportunities slip through their fingers, and every effort seems to meet a wall they cannot scale. These are not coincidences, but consequences, the unmistakable signature of spiritual jail. Spirit has closed the gates on their progress, not out of malice, but justice. They were entrusted with a blessing meant to elevate them, and instead they squandered it for a temporary fix, a sellout that offered nothing of substance. Now the divine forces they dismissed with their choices have turned against them, ensuring that nothing moves forward until they reckon with their actions. Relationships crumble, resources dry up, and doors that once opened with ease now slam shut. It's not just external. Within, they feel the weight of guilt, the gnawing ache of knowing they traded gold for dust. This is divine judgment at work, not in flames or thunder, but in the slow unraveling of everything they once thought was secure. They rejected the blessing. Now the universe rejects them. Divine judgment is not arbitrary, it's precision. Spirit sent the karmic not to destroy them, but to reveal them, to test their intentions, their integrity, and their willingness to honor the blessings placed in their lives. But they failed. Instead of recognizing the truth, they let ego, fear, and selfishness guide their actions, discarding what was sacred for something shallow. They rejected their true spiritual partner, you, and with that, they turned away from their own path to growth. Like Scrooge being shown his past, present, and future, Spirit gave them chances to choose better, to confront their flaws and embrace the lessons needed to evolve. But arrogance blinded them. They saw your value too late, and now all they have is regret. The karmic wasn't their salvation, it was their test, and their failure exposed their inability to recognize what was real. You're not just the chosen one, you're the whole damn revolution. You're the fire they can't extinguish, the force that shatters their limits, the power they'll never understand. While they scramble to keep up, you're rewriting the game. Chaos? That's your playground. Setbacks? Those are just stepping stones to your throne. You don't need their approval, their applause, or their understanding. You move on a level they can't even see. You don't just survive, you dominate. That's why the Obsidian Inner Order was made for you. This isn't some feel-good group. It's a dynasty of legends who know their worth. Every week, over 450 chosen ones get on electrifying calls that aren't just talks. They're blueprints for power moves. These aren't moments you forget. They're recorded so you can tap into the energy whenever you need to level up. The private Discord isn't just a chat. It's where real ones connect, break through limits, and turn ideas into movements. For those ready to make cosmic moves, Chosen Singles connects powerhouses who know they're destined to rise together. And the Star Chamber. That's where the raw, unfiltered truth lives. Truth too dangerous for the mainstream, but exactly what you need to rewrite reality on your terms. This isn't a question, it's a call. The fire you feel isn't random, it's the sign you've been waiting for. The portal is open. The link is in the description below. Step through it. It's time to take what's already yours. If you've cut ties with the fake, if you've reclaimed your truth, drop the comment, "I shattered illusions." Let it be known that you've stepped into your full power, leaving behind those who dared to underestimate your worth. Deception has a time limit, and karmics always run out of it. They may manipulate perception, twist truths, and play the role of the savior, but spirit sees through the facade long before the mask slips. You cannot fool divine law, and what is hidden in the shadows always comes to light. The karmic's true nature, self-serving, manipulative, and hollow, is eventually exposed for all to see. Their lies unravel, leaving nothing but shame and regret in their wake. Them, blinded by the illusion, believed the karmic's facade. They were drawn in by false promises, their vulnerabilities exploited, and their trust misplaced. But the truth, undeniable and absolute, forced its way to the surface. Spirit ensures that what is false cannot remain hidden forever. The karmic's tactics were never about strength, they were about control, and when the illusion breaks, their power crumbles. They stand exposed, stripped of their pride, forced to face the depth of their mistake. They see the karmic for what they truly are, and themselves for who they became under that influence. The shame is crushing because they now understand that what they betrayed wasn't just you, it was their own integrity and path to greatness. Their betrayal wasn't the end, it was the ignition. When they turned their back on you, they unknowingly pushed you into alignment with your highest self. Their rejection was the breaking point that shattered illusions, forcing you to heal, elevate, and realign with the purpose Spirit always had for you. What they saw as your downfall was the catalyst for your transformation. They didn't take anything from you. They freed you from carrying what wasn't meant to stay. Their actions pushed you to reclaim your power, to focus on your own healing and growth. In their absence, you rediscovered parts of yourself that had been buried beneath the weight of their betrayal. You unlocked new levels of clarity, strength, and self-worth, stepping fully into the glow-up season they never saw coming. While they're trapped in cycles of regret, you're thriving in a space of abundance and purpose. Your elevation isn't just personal, it's divine. Every step forward is a reminder that their betrayal wasn't your loss. It was their greatest mistake. You didn't just survive their choices, you used them as a springboard to rise. Their regret fuels your power because it's proof of what they failed to see. Your worth was never negotiable. I once experienced a betrayal so sharp, it felt like the air had been knocked out of me. Someone I trusted deeply, someone I had given my time, energy, and loyalty to, chose to turn their back on me. Their decision wasn't just a rejection, it was a declaration that they believed I wasn't worth the truth or their respect. The sting was unbearable at first, but that pain became a mirror, forcing me to confront myself, my worth, and my purpose. Instead of breaking me, their betrayal pushed me to grow. I realized I had been pouring into others while leaving myself drained. It forced me to pull back, reflect, and heal. I started investing in myself, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. What they thought would crush me became the fuel for my elevation. I built myself stronger, wiser and unshakable, aligning with a purpose so big they could never comprehend it. A year later, they tried to come back, carrying regret like a shadow they couldn't escape. But by then, I was thriving in a life they no longer had access to. Their betrayal wasn't my loss. It was the gift that reminded me of my own power. That's what rising above looks like. If their betrayal became the spark for your transformation, if their loss became the foundation of your elevation, drop the comment, "Their loss, my rise." Every step you take forward is a reminder of their misstep. Every victory you claim shines a spotlight on their mistake. They see your growth, your transformation, and they feel the weight of their own stagnation. While you've been breaking cycles, rising higher, and stepping into your purpose, they've been running in circles, trapped in the same toxic patterns that led them to betray you. Their pride keeps them silent, but their regret is loud, an echo in their mind they can't escape. When Frank Sinatra said, "The best revenge is massive success," he wasn't speaking lightly. Your wins are a reflection of their loss. You were the blessing they mishandled, the opportunity they couldn't appreciate. Now, as you evolve into your highest self, their shame becomes unavoidable. They can't look at your success without seeing the role they played in trying to hold you back. And the irony? You didn't just rise despite their betrayal. You rose because of it. You're thriving in spaces they can't access, elevating to heights they'll never reach. Each level of growth you achieve magnifies their failure to see your worth. They're stuck watching from the shadows as you embody everything they underestimated. They thought walking away from you was their choice, but it was Spirit's hand guiding them out of your path. Their rejection wasn't about your inadequacy. It was about their inability to rise to your frequency. You were operating on a level they couldn't comprehend, and Spirit refused to let you be dragged down by those unprepared for the magnitude of your purpose. Rejection wasn't failure. It was redirection, aligning you with the blessings and opportunities that match your true power. Spirit saw what you couldn't, their limitations, their instability, their inability to meet you where you are. Removing them was protection, not punishment. What felt like a fall was actually a rebirth, a transformation that burned away what no longer served you and allowed your true self to emerge. Like the phoenix rising stronger from its ashes, you didn't just recover, you became unstoppable. Now you can see the wisdom in their absence. They were a lesson, not a destination. While they remain stuck in patterns of mediocrity, you've aligned with something far greater. If Spirit removed them, it's because God has something better, something that resonates with the strength, power, and destiny you've always carried. Rejection? No. It was divine elevation. Pain was never meant to destroy you. It was the crucible that forged your power. When they left, when the betrayal cut deep, Spirit didn't leave you in that brokenness. Spirit used it to rebuild you, stronger, wiser, and untouchable. What they thought was the end for you was only the fire clearing the path for your rebirth. Every tear, every moment of doubt became the foundation of your rise, transforming what was meant to break you into the ultimate source of your strength. They can't recognize the version of you that emerged from those ashes because you've transcended everything they knew about you. You didn't just heal, you transformed. Now, you walk in a power that not only elevates you, but leaves no room for those who doubted your worth. While they're trapped in cycles of regret, you're thriving, untethered by their limitations, and untouchable in your new form. If you've taken the pain they caused and turned it into the fuel for your rise, declare it. I'm the phoenix reborn. Let them know that what tried to burn you only gave you wings. You didn't just survive, you ascended, and there's no coming down. If you've taken the pain they caused and turned it into the fuel for your rise, declare it. I'm the Phoenix reborn. Betrayal has a way of stripping away illusions and teaching lessons you can't ignore. First, it teaches you that discernment is everything. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. People may approach with masks of loyalty and love, but not all intentions are pure. You've learned to guard your space, recognizing that your energy is sacred and must be protected from those who only seek to drain it. Second, you've seen that red flags are Spirit's early warnings. Every truth that ultimately surfaces leaves a trail. The signs were there all along, subtle but present. Now, you trust those instincts and know that ignoring them is a choice you'll never make again. Third, you've embraced the truth that you are the prize. Your worth doesn't diminish because others fail to recognize it. You've stopped settling for less than those who truly value your presence and contribution. Fourth, rejection is divine protection. Spirit's hand removes those who are not aligned with your destiny. Their exit wasn't a loss, but a recalibration, redirecting you toward what serves your higher purpose. Finally, your worth is non-negotiable. Their betrayal wasn't a reflection of your value, but of their own inadequacy. You stand unshaken, knowing their actions define them, not you. People reveal their intentions and character through their actions, not their words. The truth of who they are is often laid bare long before the moment of betrayal, but the heart sometimes clings to the illusion of who they could be. Yet, Spirit has no room for illusions. The lesson is clear. When they show you their true nature, trust it. Denial only delays your growth and prolongs the inevitable pain of realizing you overlooked what was always in plain sight. You've learned that discernment is your greatest ally. When their actions betray their words, it's not your responsibility to make excuses for them or wait for them to change. Spirit removes what doesn't align with your purpose, and your role is to accept what's revealed without hesitation. Their disrespect, dishonesty, and betrayal weren't sudden. They were part of a pattern you're now wise enough to recognize. This isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about honoring your worth. Trust what Spirit shows you the first time, because delaying only robs you of time, energy, and peace. Their betrayal isn't your failure, it's their revelation. The quicker you accept their truth, the quicker you can move forward into what's meant for you, leaving them behind where they belong. Comment: I trust the divine plan, if this resonates with your journey. Your energy is sacred, a force that shouldn't be accessible to just anyone. Protect it fiercely. They've already shown you what they're capable of, and Spirit made it clear they didn't deserve you in their untransformed state. If they try to re-enter your life, don't be swayed by empty words or shallow apologies. Transformation isn't about promises, it's about actions. Without undeniable proof that they've evolved, their place in your life should remain firmly closed. Shift your focus entirely to your own path. Spirit is moving you into alignment with people, opportunities, and spaces that not only appreciate your value, but amplify it. Every step forward you take leads you closer to your divine purpose, and those meant to walk alongside you will match your frequency without manipulation or betrayal. The divine is clearing the road ahead of anything that doesn't serve your growth. Trust the process and keep moving forward. Let your glow up be the loudest message. Every win you achieve, every step higher you climb, is a testament to your resilience and divine favor. You don't need to defend or explain yourself. Your success speaks louder than any words could. Keep thriving, because that's the ultimate response to everything they tried to destroy. You are the storm they underestimated, and the force they couldn't contain. They thought their betrayal would diminish you, but it did the opposite. It unleashed your true potential. Their regret is irrelevant to your destiny. This isn't about them. It's about you stepping fully into the life you were meant to live. You've turned pain into power, rejection into redirection, and loss into limitless growth. While they are trapped in cycles of shame and stagnation, you're rising higher, faster, and stronger than ever. Every victory you achieve, every milestone you surpass, is a reminder to the world that you are unstoppable. They can't touch what spirit has protected and elevated. They're embarrassed by their choices because your success shines a relentless light on their failure to recognize your worth. But that's their burden to carry, not yours. You've transcended their reach and proven that nothing, no betrayal, no sellout, no karmic game can halt the divine plan over your life. Chosen ones, this is your era. Keep shining, keep winning, and let their regret fuel your power. Share your story boldly, because every time you do, you inspire others to rise. Sometimes you have to lose the good to find the great.